So let's take a quick behind the scenes look into a project that I'm working on right now, just to see what it takes from start to finish, and really the creative process behind it. Here we go. All right, so first things first, what we're going to do is we're just going to actually take a look at the video and what we're starting out with. This is a series that is going to be coming out from AB Comics. Wants to really have these characters, pop and make it better. Alex and I have already talked about doing a nice intro. So there's a little bit of jank there already. So let's take a look and just get a feel for this. All right, so we got two characters. Not sure who they are. This is actually the first video where there's multiple characters going on. So we're really focusing on this struggle here. Okay, we have a new character. Okay. Big close up. And then we have the folks for the credits in the end. All right, so going through just real short, we have a nice intro set up for AB Comics, so I'm not worried about anything like that. We do a nice title card for Kunai, is actually the ninja warrior's name. My initial thoughts were, in short, that some of this could be sped up. I don't know, for whatever reason, it seems like this is a fight, but it's very dramatic, and it's the same shot again and again and again, and it's kind of boring to watch. There's no context, so as a viewer, I'm generally confused as to who is who. So who is this character here who's taking her clothes off? Who is this other random vampire-looking, bosom-laden female? Well, we don't know. And generally the edits are, they're pretty straightforward. Hey, we'll cut this, we'll do this, we'll do that. And I spoke with Alex and I said, this is probably a good jump off point. Let's really, let's amp this up. We're introducing a few characters here, it looks like, and we don't really know as the viewer what's going on. So let's jump over to the notes. All right, and this was a screenshot taken from our email conversation. Clarification, there was a Sun Tzu quote that we were focusing on putting in for the intro, which is fine. The focus is let's up the quality. Let's do what we can for great thumbnails. All of the other previous intros for the characters have come out really well. We had to get a history for Kunai, Temptest, Firearm, individuals that you see in the video, and they need to have some sort of slight intro or reference or something. And essentially what I'm going to do is rework the video that you just saw and cut it up and intro in different, more interesting content. Don't want to go too much through this because this is the boring part. So this is kind of how they're going to feel. So we start going through the process here, and really this was probably one of my favorite pieces that I saw screenshot wise. This would be good for a thumbnail. Gives a clear shot of the character. I can crop out the background. We're gonna have to do some work for his bracelet for whatever con that this particular cosplayer was at when they were doing this, but good flesh tones. We have nice clean lines to be able to crop out, and we can go around his hair pretty well. So boom, that's what that looks like. And crisp things up a little bit. Still need to work on getting that done. So this is kind of the font set title card for Kunai. This will pop up right after the reworked intro, and we have the Japanese characters lettering in with the actual font set. And I mean, if this doesn't belong on the back of a trading card or something, or an anime series, I don't know what does, but it definitely pays homage to that. And then we go to the Sun Tzu title card after that. So there's definitely going to be some slicing and dicing going on. We want to obviously pay homage to the ancient China theme, obviously being a military strategist Sun Tzu, and this is the focus of really Kunai's belief that there is some sort of honor, even though he is a ninja, and this is more samurai honor-based system. Actually, no, I take that back. I believe samurai are Japanese. Again, I don't want to assume. That's why I ask. So you will see, just some blood spattering. You might hear some fighting in the back, and this will show up, and this will show up. And then we actually have the thumbnail, which, I mean, it's pretty epic. So I know most of the content didn't really have thumbnails like this, but I would want to click on that. Visual elements are kind of interesting, but I want to have an inner dialogue that kind of explains a little bit more as to what's going on, introing some of these other characters that we see on screen, and we'll go from there. So this is the first step. Let's go on to see what else is cooking. Bum, ba, bum. All right, so part 2. If we're going to be doing any sort of background information, we need to make sure that we know what's going on with the characters. So I kind of paused at this point, reached out to Alex and said, hey, let's make sure I'm doing this right. Took the opportunity to kind of do a deep dive. We're doing a few, why not just do them all at once? That way it makes it easier, makes my life easier when I'm designing this moving forward. So what we did was I essentially took what the original rough draft PowerPoint presentation slides are, and I rewrote each character just to kind of get a feeling for each one. So what better way to try to figure out a character that you have no idea about that you might be voicing or designing elements into than to rewrite some of their background history. It was pretty easy. Each of them had their own vibes as I went along, but it also did give some questions. So for example, we have really quickly Temptest in this video, and it's only briefly, but I didn't really know too much about her. So in her bio, it does show that she's not able to transform into a bat, but she is very just vain. And how can a vampire or vampiress be vain if they cannot see their reflections? So can they or cannot? That's some of the questions I wanted to ask with Alex. I said, all right, well, this is what we have, but let's jump on a call. Let's just deep dive a little bit more into the characters just to make sure that I am following this along successfully. Alright, so the fun part of the sound engineering process. So we got a couple of samples that we've worked together here, and I'm kind of doing this in Final Cut Pro. This is not really the way you do it, but I'm doing it this way, so it is what it is. So we're working on the title card screen right after AB Comics. Remember, we're trying to do some sort of sword slashing type Asian influenced type aspect. So when I was putting this together, I'm thinking, having the conversation with Alex, and he's saying, Bruce Lee vibe for Kunai, and for whatever reason, this intro, I'm thinking almost like a ninja turtle, Bruce Lee inspired, maybe Zorro infused type experience. So this is what we have so far. Which I think is coming out pretty cool. We still have to adjust some of these and throw a few effects on here. I don't know if this is entirely, we got to tweak it. But anyway, so it has kind of that kung fu-y kind of vibe. There might be a little bit of tone I may throw in there just to kind of give it a little more emphasis and a little more bass drop I might hit here, but I really like that. So we got 2 slices of the sword, and then the actual title card shows up. And so we went through with a couple of voiceovers as well and voice effects. So this is kind of just some random grunts and groans that I will either use during the the intro video itself, or for the intro bit here. So just me, Got a little Rocky, little Power Ranger vibe, Street Fighter vibe going on. And then for the voiceover, because I was already here, so I figured, why not? Is this it? Nope. This is Kunai. Ninja War. There we go. Kunai. Ninja War. Kunai. Ninja Warrior. So we're going to test different ways, see what sounds good as far as for putting up the title card and then having me shout over it. And then I was doing a dramatic reading of when we repurposed each of the bios and having the characters pop up. I figured we'd go all out with the voiceover. Including the one over his right eye from his fellow... Kind of helps if you're only listening to one track. Including the one over his right eye from his fellow ninja nemesis... Spice. Love that. So we're going to go and EQ and master that and clean it up a little bit. But it's sounding pretty good so far. And I really like this intro so far. We're probably going to tweak it a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't sound too goofy, but I think it's missing just a slight tone. I don't want to over-engineer it or spend too much time on this, but pretty good pace so far. So let's see what happens in the next steps. Kunai, Ninja Warrior. Hey, Alex, what's going on?
How you doing, sir? Good to hear from you.
Hey, likewise, man. It's been a long time. Listen, we got this video. I think it's in a pretty good place. Probably a good time to take a look at it. See what your thoughts are. Did you have some time now? Are you busy?
Sure, I'm available right now. Let's do it.
All right, sweet. So I know we're trying to get this situated on Zoom. I don't think this is going to work. That's why I had to call you. Let me send you the link. All right, you should have it. Did you get it?
Not yet. Hang on.
Yeah, it should be on its way. Let me send it again just to make sure. There we go. All right, it's on its way.
Okay.
Sweet. Take a quick peek.
Okay, I'm getting ready to watch it right now to speak. Okay.
All right, fired will.
Come on, video. Okay, there we go.
So we have the before that you're going to be taking a look at, just so we know what we're comparing it against.
Right.
And the 15 jacket opens. All right, you're seeing the credits now for the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All righty.
Okay,
And then
here we
treatment for the second one. Here we go.
go. All right, I'm looking forward for it.
Kunai, Ninja Warrior.
Wow.
An assassin trained in just about every martial art form known to man, Kunai has just one main goal: to seek out and destroy Comic Book Guy. Known for few spoken words, but always for his brutal actions, Kunai's body is adorned with scars from battle and tattoos alike, including the one over his right eye from his fellow ninja nemesis, Spice. His victims are his prey. His tasks are openly referred to as hunting season. It is all about the hunt and the thrill of the kill with this ninja. Firearm. Violent. Lethal. Beautiful. Temptest, Demon of Desire. So, I mean, it's a little bit different than, the first one.
Oh, way different. This is even better than the old Kung Fu series, I tell you.
I mean, this could be its own. This could be its own thing, man. So, I had a lot of inspiration. We talked about Bruce Lee. We talked about having sort of just the Eastern themes in general, as far as for the vibe. Trying to keep it like a comic book, and just so each of them have. And that's why I wanted to rewrite the BIOS for each of the characters. So I didn't want to intro in each of them, but we needed to have just a little bit of characterization, for each of the folks that are there. It's Kunai's video, so he's going to have the most interesting bits about it. And I was thinking that this is also something that, even though you're introing characters, this is going to be something that could be playing, like we were talking about with MegaCon at some point, or any of the other comic gatherings that'll be looping in the background. So even if you're not listening to the audio, you'll still be able to read what's going on for that character. And each of them, that's why I said, hey, let's do the rewrite now. So then that way, when I do the voiceover work for it, I can kind of do it in one bit, know what the feel is supposed to be like.
Right.
And then you see obviously the presentation, but what did you think?
This is, again, you left me speechless. I'm going to declare this right now. You're 5-0 right now. You are 5-0.
You say that like you had doubt.
Yeah.
It's a comic book. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, and there's only so much that you can really do with the old. I mean, to be honest, there wasn't really a lot to use. Even with Temptest, you saw there's like 15 seconds at best, and to try to cut around what's good was difficult. I mean, even the original shots, if you look at them between Firearm and Kunai, there's really not a lot to work with, because there's about 4 or 5 repeat shots, and to watch it's kind of boring. So we did a lot of audio engineering. We cleaned that up, gave Kunai a lot of character, and then try to highlight, the aspects that we could from the original footage. And if I had more to work with, we could have been, just as intense with Temptest, or there really wasn't a lot to pick from with Spice, as far as for kind of hovering over her information.
Right.
But that's it, man. That's your that's your next trailer reveal.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm really, like I said, I'm speechless. I really am. I mean, I'm very happy. Really happy with this. Again, it reminds me a lot of the old Kung Fu series and some of the, the Fast and the Furious, not really that, excuse me, like the Bruce Lee movies and everything.
Yep.
Again, I am really, really, I'm happy about this. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you did it again. You did it. I mean, wow. I mean, awesome.